Hello friends, today we will be learning to make banana walnut cake, and there is a twist. We are not going to use any sugar and we are not going to use any oil. So what we are going to use, let's check out. So for the ingredients we need, this is all-purpose flour. So what I have done is I have made a mixture of all-purpose flour and some chocolate chips, and then this is the double acting baking powder. So I make this mixture and keep it, that I am going to use now. Then this is the walnut, I have crushed them. This is the size of the serving bowl I have taken. So this is the size. I have taken around 1 cup of walnut, then 1 cup of oats. So these are non-roasted oats. So I have just used my food processor and crushed them into a coarse powdery texture. Then definitely bananas. I have taken 2 bananas. Then cinnamon. Yes, we are going to use honey instead of sugar, honey. Then eggs, I will be using 2 to 3 eggs, egg white I will be using rather, and a pinch of salt, and yes, the most important ingredient, that is milk. So let's get started. This is my mixing bowl. I have taken egg white of 3 eggs and I am going to put in my egg white. Now I will add in honey. I have added 4 to 5 spoons of honey, and now I am giving it a good mix, that is my honey and egg white. Now my honey and egg white mixture is ready. I will keep it aside and I will take my bananas and I'll mash them well. I have taken 2 bananas, and with the help of my fork I am going to mash my bananas. So my bananas are well mashed, and now in that I am going to add a spoon of cinnamon powder. I am going to give it a good mix. And this is how it looks now. You have to remember that for banana walnut cake, cinnamon flavor goes awesome with it. So you can add vanilla extract as well if you don't like cinnamon flavor, but this is the flavor that exactly goes awesome with banana walnut cake. So now we have our banana and cinnamon mixture ready. We will keep it aside, and meanwhile what we are going to do is, this is my egg and honey mixture. In that I am going to add in my oatmeal powder. Now goes in my 1.5 bowl of all-purpose flour, the one that I told how I make and keep it. I have added few chocolate chips as well. Those are my homemade no sugar chocolates again. So I'll share the recipe very soon. I have now added my all-purpose flour mixture and I will give it a good mix. This is how our mixture looks now. At this point I am going to add half a cup of milk, and the measurement that I am going to use is say around 100 ml of milk. So I am adding in milk, giving it a good mix. This is how the mixture looks now. At this point I am going to add my banana and cinnamon mixture. And finally I am adding all my walnuts. This is how the mixture looks, and if you see, the consistency is The consistency is pouring consistency. It is not very thick and not very thin batter. Okay, let me tell you something. If by chance you have added a bit more of milk or your batter becomes very thin, then what you need to do is, while adding the walnut, before you add the walnuts, you have to just mix all the walnuts pieces, put them in a flour, take them out and then add it. That will actually prevent the walnuts to sit at the bottom because if your batter is runny. Otherwise, it is wise to use less milk initially, and then if your batter is very thick, after adding the walnuts, then you better add a bit of milk and have a kind of not so runny batter. So it should be a kind of not very thick and not very thin. Like the consistency should be like this. See, it's kind of like this. Now I am going to preheat my oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Meanwhile, I have taken my baking pan and I am going to spray it to grease it. So here is my olive oil spray that I use. So I have now sprayed my baking pan, and what I am going to do, this is a very important step. I am going to take a handful of all-purpose flour, that is maida, and I am going to sprinkle it all over my baking pan. This is how our baking pan will look like. Now I am going to pour in our banana walnut cake batter. We have now poured our cake batter into our baking pan, and I am going to let it rest. This is a very important step. In most of the cake making, the cake doesn't rise is because we don't really give it a resting time for our baking powder to act. So I will give it a rest time for say 15 to 20 minutes minimum. If you can rest it for half an hour, it's much better. So let it rest. Meanwhile, our oven is getting preheated. I'm going to sprinkle some more cinnamon on top so that it gives a beautiful outer look as well. So friends, as our oven is getting preheated and our cake batter is resting, so let's understand few things. If you do not eat egg, then it doesn't mean that you cannot enjoy a yummy cake. So what you have to do is, I have taken 3 egg whites. What you are going to do is, this is the spoon that I use. You can use 3 spoon to 4 spoon of yogurt. And then mix yogurt and honey very well, the way we mix our egg and honey. And as I shared with you in the beginning about the all-purpose flour mixture that I make and keep, what I do is, I take all-purpose flour, then I take a spoon full of baking powder, and then I mix them together. I add in this mixture, I did add few chocolate chips. Those are my homemade chocolate chips. I don't put sugar. Instead of sugar, I put honey. They are low calorie ones, so I prefer using them in my cake. And I mix them and I keep it. So that mixture comes in very handy, and you can keep it for months together. So it's always preferable, it's much better if you use self-rising flour. In the US, we get flour which is self-rising, but if you don't have, you absolutely don't need to worry. You can go ahead and use baking powder. And I have a double rising baking powder, double acting. So this baking powder helps in like aerating it better. If you don't have this, don't worry, it doesn't matter much. There will be a bit of a difference here and there. It's not going to make a huge difference. So our oven is now preheated. We will now go ahead and place our cake batter inside the oven. As I already mentioned, we preheated our oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for around 15 minutes. So now we are going to bake it for 35 to 40 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And once our cake is little brownish on top, and if we put a toothpick or a knife and it comes out clean, we will be sure that our cake is done. Per my experience, it takes approximately 30 to 45 minutes, between 30 to 45 minutes. It depends on the different kind of oven that different people have. Ovens are different, so it's better that you check after 30 minutes. You take it out, check it, give it a check, and then just see how it is. So friends, it's been 40 minutes and it seems our cake is ready because it's smelling so beautiful. So let's check that. Oh wow! See, this is how it looks. Isn't it beautiful? I'll check. I'll put my knife inside and see, our knife is coming out all clean, so it's ready. So now I will loosen the sides. See, I'm just rolling my knife so that it comes out well. So now I will take my rack, here it is, and put it on my tray. I will just put my cake like this and remove. So how beautiful it looks, right? So I'll just flip it over. Oh my God, see how fluffy it is. See how fluffy. It's so spongy. So I'll show you. So let's cut it. It's hot. Generally it's better to keep it, cool it down and then cut it, but I'm going to cut it and show you how beautiful it looks because I can't wait, and it's smelling so nice. Oh my God. Check this out, friends. See how spongy it is. Oh my God, it's very hot. So this is how it looks. It's so spongy. See how beautiful it is. So now you must be sure, as you saw the result yourself, that you do not need butter, you do not need sugar to have such spongy and amazing tasty cake. Do it yourself. Try it yourself. So now as our cake is ready, I know I have an oven, convection oven, but in many households back in India, we only have microwave, and microwave doesn't serve the purpose. We don't have those convection oven. So if you don't have those convection oven, does that mean that you cannot enjoy this beautiful cake? No, absolutely not. So let me tell you what you can do. See, if you by chance don't have convection oven, I know everyone has this at home. We all Indian have one. So this is a pressure cooker. What are you going to do is, you're going to take a pressure cooker, then you have to heat the pressure cooker with lid. How you have to put the lid is, you have to remove this rubber, take the lid, just put it on, remove this whistle and let it heat on a gas stove at low for around 12 to 15 minutes, and it will create that convection what we get in the oven. And then remove the lid and put a bowl which is like, having a flat surface on top, because what you are going to do is you are going to take a bowl in which you are going to put your cake batter, okay, and place it like this. So once your cooker convection oven is ready, so you are going to take a bowl, put it like this, see, okay, upside down, and then take your bowl with your cake batter and then place it on top of that small bowl and then close the lid and cook it at a low flame for say 30 to 35 minutes. You can keep checking in between if you are doing it for the first time, but that is the amount of time it takes. So yes, you must enjoy making this amazingly tasting diet cake. This cake is awesome. You can keep it in the fridge for around a week or 10 days. And this is the best thing when you are traveling out. Don't carry things which are full of sugar. Make this and carry it. I do it all the time. And it is so healthy. Enjoy, friends, and let me know about your experience. I'm dying to hear from you. Take care and a very happy cooking.